call this meeting to order of the Town of Pelletier Board of Commissioners at 6:30, Monday, June 3rd, 2024. Roll call.
Walter Benson. Dan Taylor.
Accounted for.
Dale Sowers.
Here.
Sonny Mason.
Here.
David Bragg.
Here.
Tim Quinn.
Here.
All right, let's all stand for the pledge and invocation, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Alice.
Heavenly Father, as we come to you tonight, we thank you for the beautiful day that you've given. We thank you for each and every one that is present. And we ask be with us, lead, guide, and direct us as we make what is best for this town. And we just thank you for your many, many blessings. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Phyllis, know you're out of the house?
No, but don't tell her.
All right, everybody has the agenda in front of them. If there's no changes to the agenda, do I hear a motion to accept it as written?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, approval of the minutes of the May 6, 2024 meeting. There's no changes to that. Do I hear a motion to approve as written?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Department report, code enforcement officer.
I think he's on the phone out in his truck. He may be on
Alright.
the phone with the sheriff.
Let's,
Can we
we'll skip, for right now, and, we'll go to the short timer. West Carter Fire and EMS report. Chief Kevin Hunter, the last
Thank you, Mr.
meeting.
Mayor, and board members and citizens. For the month of May, it was, we were back to our normal, very, very busy, 173 calls total. For the town of Pelletier, we had 21 EMS calls in Pelletier, 3 fire incidents, 1 motor vehicle crash, and then 3 that were in the other category for a total of 28. Out of the total of 173 for the entire district, 119 of those were EMS calls, 21 were fire calls, 12 motor vehicle crashes. It kind of feels as if the motor vehicle crashes are increasing, but we'll see how the next 2 months goes as we go into the summer. 21 for the entire district were in the other category. In the report that I send you, you'll see how things stack up month by month to last year at this time. And it's very easy to see quickly that if you look at each month's total, at the bottom of each month for this year, we are moving very rapidly ahead of last year. At this pace right now, and I mentioned this last month, we're on track to hit 2,100 calls, which will be a record for us. If I was to estimate, the guys in the station, when we get to this point in the year, when we get about halfway through the year, they like to try to outguess each other what our final call volume is going to be. And a few months ago, I said that we were going to be right around what we were 2 years ago, about 2,050. But I think we're going to blow 2,050 out of the water, and this will be a record year. So that being said, I wanted to just make mention. I'm sure all of you know of those the fire incidents that we had in our district Last weekend, on Memorial Day weekend, we had a very large, extensive fire in a local commercial building. I can't go into a lot of details in regards to things like how it started and what have you, because it is still under investigation. We have some ideas. The state of North Carolina is handling the investigation with the county fire marshal because it is such a high loss fire. This is going to end up being probably right around a $7 million fire loss. However, on the positive side, it could have been a $10 million plus fire loss, and we have a save. Our department has a save, and those departments that assisted us, of about $3 million. So the fire was stopped at the commercial occupancy directly next to the furniture store. And so the occupancies going, if you're looking at the building from out front, which I'm sure everybody has driven past by now, the occupancies going to the left, all the way down to Domino's, those last 4 occupancies, they had some water damage and some smoke damage, but no one lost anything of any great value. I'm to understand that when all the investigation is done, that Mr. Guthrie is going to be rebuilding that entire block. As citizens of our community, I would urge you all to keep him and his family in your prayers, because that business has been their life for 50-some years. And I will say to you that our people, our firefighters, and the firefighters that assisted us from 12 different departments, the firefighters that were right up there doing the firefighting, I will tell you that they did an unbelievably good job. The fact that they were able to stop it at Al Barnes, the crews that went interior into Al Barnes basically went in under the fire that was over their heads, and they stopped that fire. Those guys are the ones that saved the rest of that whole block. So they did an unbelievable job, and I will tell you that they took a beating. It was extremely hot, and they had a lot of words to say about how bad it was in there. Also, in the back, if you know anything about the complex of buildings that he has there, he has 2 more buildings, large buildings in the back. And during the firefight, one of my captains came to me and he said, "Captain, or Chief, we got that one building has got smoke coming out of it, and it's really, really hot in there and you can't see anything." Well, one of the reasons that had taken place, we don't know why, but there was a door open and there was a lot of smoke entering into that building, but thank goodness there was no fire in that, because there was no visibility back there in the back. So they really, we sent a crew of 6 men with a hose line, and they could not see between the darkness and the heavy smoke. And I basically told them when they went in there, I said, "Guys, do not get yourself hurt, but if that other building is on fire, we've got to try to stop it." Because if that other building had been on fire, I'd had to bring in another 5 or 6 fire departments, and we already had 12 fire departments. I was telling Mr. Mason that we had 10 tankers on the scene, so average out at about 2,500 gallons each. We had close to 25,000 gallons of water in tankers. We were using the hydrant system, but we had to augment that with our tanker shuttles. That was the only way that we could supply the aerial apparatus that was on the scene. So overall, it was a rough night, but our folks did a great job. I have no complaints. Mr. Guthrie had no complaints, and we got nothing but positive feedback from the occupants of the other storefront buildings or businesses, I should say. So, and, you know, these things, they do make big news, but I'm happy to say that we didn't have any major screw ups. and on a scene that large, it's very easy for things to go wrong sometimes, and really, under the circumstances, things went as right as could have been expected.
No one got hurt.
And nobody got hurt. That was, we had probably close to 100 total people, and that's including the support that we got from the county, and we also had the Salvation Army there. So when you take law enforcement and everybody that was out there, we had approximately 100 people out there from 12 different departments. So the fire marshal, who obviously has been quite busy because he initially assisted the county fire marshal and the state people in the early going, but again, because of the large loss, it was taken over by the state. He's had a busy month, but mostly inspections. He's had a total of 35 inspections. In Pelletier, he had 6. Let's see, a total of 7 smoke detectors. Our smoke detector program that we do for the, especially anybody, if anyone here, a citizen or board member, knows someone who needs smoke detectors, especially if someone is needy, maybe they live in less than ideal conditions and they need a smoke detector. We have a smoke detector problem, and our people will come out and will install for them the smoke detectors that they need. We just received smoke detectors from the state of North Carolina to assist us with that. He did 2 plans reviews. He did 10 Knox box installations and what have you. During this month, no fire prevention. That will pick up again usually around the month of September. So Pelletier, complaints and concerns, none for the town of Pelletier. Actually none for the whole district for the month, so that's very good. Fire protection system checkouts, 1. Fire alarm systems, sprinkler systems, and hood systems, 4 of those. Total training hours was 13. So he has been busy. He initially, prior to my arrival on the scene the other night, he initially commanded the fire scene until myself and Chief Penuel arrived on the scene. So all in all, thank goodness the report is good. Firefighters are safe after that incident, and another good month and another busy month. And if there's any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
Chief, was that your largest fire since you've been here?
Yes. In fact, I was telling somebody, so there's 4 places in the district that when I became the fire chief, they were my nightmare scenarios, and the furniture store was one of the nightmare scenarios, because I had been involved when I was at Camp Lejeune on the Rose Brothers furniture fire. And I know a lot about that fire, and I know I had studied the fire in Charleston, South Carolina, which killed 9 firefighters at the sofa store, the Super Sofa store in Charleston back in 2008. So that was one of my nightmares. Another nightmare is the old dive building, and then there's a section in Cedar Point where there's several buildings that are built very, very close together along the water, and another couple of places. But that was my biggest nightmare scenario. So it was really unbelievable when the call came in. I won't say what I thought and the words that I spoke, but but I was kind of in disbelief when I sat up on the edge of the bed.
I'll bet.
Any other questions from anybody, anything that I can answer? All right, thank you again very much. I've been honored to serve all of you and your town and all of the towns in this district for the last 13 and a half years. And I appreciate all of you and thank all of you. So, thank you.
You've done a good job.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Chief. Lieutenant.
Hey.
Our code enforcement officer's report.
As you want.
Glad you could make it, sir.
Oh, thank you. I've been out in the parking lot for an hour and a half.
Yes, sir, I saw you. Thank you.
Here you go, sir.
Already backed up on the bird nest.
Hey,
Here you go.
you need one of them back?
He's got two.
I've got two.
There it is. I get it.
I'm figuring it's mighty thick.
All right, how are you guys tonight? May status report, let's see. Wrote some rosy words in the beginning. Let's see here. We had a couple of issues. There's a couple of hot spots as far as drug activity goes around your town, not in your town. And the sheriff's office is working on that presently. And that stems from last month's report about the man that was flashing people along the Pelletier Loop right there that I told you about. Let's see here. My big things this month, not big, but we're Sandspur Lane once again with Ms. Becker and the Biden campaign bus tour. I think he's waiting to the last possible day to take the bus out, but he's taking the bus out. So it's not gonna be there, but when I kinda told him how it went down with somebody complained on him, they didn't like it, and I think they got his ire up a little bit, you know, how it is right now between the two parties, and anyway, I think it's one of those things. Let's see here, 305, 5 April's Drive, it's actually 307, because I sat in that driveway for a while. Looked up the ownership of that and came up with SJ Investments out of Lexington, South Carolina. They got the property 8 November 2023. Let's see here. I got an address on Lexington. It's a P.O. box. I found an office. The P.O. box was 32 minutes away from their office, but they also have an office in North Carolina. I've sent several letters out to people within the SJ investment firm. It's a $2.594 million annual business. So they do have a couple of offices, and they had 29 properties listed, and I still have not gotten a response back. Sure, I don't know what to do about this one. I'm gonna give it.
I missed what you told us.
I used to call it the tarp house on 5 April's Drive.
Okay.
They've since put a roof on it, and that's all they've done. Well, they also have a brand new air conditioner, central air conditioning unit to the side of the house, I found out. And it's infested with mold, it's disgusting, it's atrocious, and the yard's grown up all around it, and if you look in the back, the yard's starting to overgrow the house. So, an investment firm bought that property in November of 23, and all they've done is put the roof and the air conditioner in and then walked away from the place, they haven't done anything with it. I spoke to a neighbor about the lady that lives to the right of them, and she says they can put a roof on. She thought they were gonna recoup the property, and then they just walked away from it, haven't been back since. So, anyway, I have an address. I tracked down one of the registered agents of the company, and I have an address, and he's not too far from where my son lives, so I think I might just drop by next time I go visit my son in Wilmington, because he lives in Brunswick County, the owner of the county. And that'll probably happen this weekend coming up. Okay, that's that. That's about the best I can do there, because I'm not getting any response from these folks. Let's see here. 209 North Branch Court, that one seems to be a done deal for right now. I think it's been like 35, 36 days since the last overdose. So I think things are kind of mellowing out there.
Things have slowed down there a little bit.
I had a talk with the lady, so I told her about how I didn't want any more overdose tests there for a while. Yeah, so she seems to be receptive to our talk. Let's see here, 124 Pettiford Road. This will be the collection of cars / trash. They've been on, they've gotten no response. Let's see here, dates. They have a few days before penalty, and then I'm gonna have to start talking about, hey, we need to go there and spend some money and get these people cleaned up. We're heading there in about 5 days. Okay, that's that one. 1106, 1105. I always use the two addresses because I always get them screwed up, but we know we're talking about the lawnmower factory / bar that the chief was worried about blowing up. That one there, he plays a game with me, I think. I think he likes to talk to me or something because I have to see him about 3 times a month. Mr. Whetstone there. He gets something done each month, makes progress towards it, and then nothing. Chirp, chirp. This month he got what used to be the front sign. There's no more weeds on that. I think this month we're really striving to get those ditches cleared out because that's about the last big thing he needs to do, so I don't have to bother him for a couple months. But that's where we're heading, and he says he's on it, so we'll see if he's on it. Let's see here. Sandspur Lane, I'm gonna work on that one another month, just because of who owns the property, and I'm just trying to get that cleared easy peasy without having to make a big deal out of it. I think I can get it done this month. Let's see here, 127 Pettiford. I got a call from Town Hall 127 Pettiford about a cat issue. Kind of out of my wheelhouse, but I went there and I took a look at it and I saw a bunch of cats. I did. So I called the animal catcher, and they're supposed to be setting some traps up because I gave them a call. That's that. And then finally today I got an email about, I guess people are complaining on Eddie McNeil's golf course being overgrown and getting a little high up there. So I'll try to find and track down Eddie and see what he has to say about getting that golf course right down. That's not an easy undertaking, as we all know.
Is that in the clubhouse you're talking about?
I'm talking about the whole damn golf course. Yeah, I drove around it today. It's about 3 feet high, the whole damn thing.
And part of it won't be his much longer.
Yeah, well, it's still his though.
Yeah, it is right now.
Yeah, so. Anyway, that's that. Any questions? I think I hit all the highways on the one I was working kind of hard on. But yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess getting on the sheriff report. I'm sorry, I missed that one, didn't I?
If that's what you get for being late.
My mind's on other things, let me tell you.
Yes, sir.
All right, Pelletier generated 67 calls for service, in-town calls. Cape Carteret, Mr. Quinn on the end, had 2. So Cape Carteret had 2 this month.
Thank you for providing that.
Yeah, sure, man. 24 calls for service were the ETJ, boom, boom. So we had a total of 91 calls for service in your immediate area. And the highlights this month were drug-related type calls. So, there we go.
What type?
People acting stupid, and we're going beyond the I've had too many beers type stupid. Yeah. Cause I don't know what it is, they're zombies. No, I'm serious, they're zombies. Yeah, and you deal with these people and it's a bad scene. But, and they're living in the woods, they're living up here off the Crow Camp and stuff. I can show you an encampment pretty much about 1,000 yards behind the Pelletier General Store where about 20 of them are staying.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Okay.
move them out, right? We're gonna move them out.
Yeah, I'm kind of working on that one right now.
Is that
All right.
Pelletier, Camp Pelletier Road?
Well, that's one spot there, but I'm talking back off of Mills Branch, off of CC Road. So you got, you go up CC Road, and then off to the right would be the Comer property. And then off to the left, you're in the woods, the National Forest. You go up to where that road is behind the Comer property, that cutoff hunting road, /Far Road. Keep going up another 150 to 200 yards, look left, and you can make your egress into the woods there and get about 100 yards to that.
So they're behind my house.
Yeah.
Let me check my ammo tonight then.
To describe.
Good gosh.
It's
Really?
So much easier.
I got a drug dealer on one side. Oh my goodness.
Off of Millis Road is about 50 yards from the left. That goes back to the cemetery back there.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't know, it's back to the dam. It's not, it's before you go all the way to that dam back.
Yeah, it is.
It's on the backside of Collins' property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roads back in there, wasn't it?
Chris, that Donald guy that we're talking about with the
Yeah.
trash,
Yeah.
is he still, I mean, is still the county though, wherever he lives, not just in Pelletier?
He lives in the county.
Right, he lives on Old Church.
Right.
And he's starting the same thing up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's fine. He can do that because I don't do that for the county anymore.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Stuff for the county. There's another guy in my office that works for me that does it.
Okay.
So I don't care if he gets messed up with Donald. And his
Well, I was just thinking if they put pressure on him from Pelletier and the county, I don't know if you could hit this guy in the head with a hammer and make him understand.
Thought about that process, but I think the better process is to hit him here from Pelletier, and they can move the crap to the county, and then the county guy that works for me can deal with it.
Gotcha. Okay. I was just throwing that out there because I've heard some complaints from up there where he lives too. From
Yes,
people.
yes, but those
Yeah.
are complaints that don't come to me. Okay. Are there any questions, folks?
How far behind my house are they? I need to know how to sight my scope in.
They're a good distance.
Well, if you keep 100 or 0, and you know your holds, you should be fine.
Gotcha, buddy. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions?
No, sir.
All right.
Sure appreciate it.
Y'all have a good night.
You too. All right, next, financial report.
General funds, tax 257,338.04, does that sound right? Powell's 27,499.08.
All right. Anybody got any questions? We are still in the black though, so we're doing good. Yep. All right, there won't be a planning report because, they didn't have a quorum tonight. So you're off. All right, commissioners report, Commissioner Quinn,
I don't have anything at this time.
all right, Commissioner Bragg.
Not much aside from, we had complaints of the intersection there at Pettiford Road and 58. The culvert that runs underneath there is underground. Where the water runs off the corner, it had eroded it a lot. When we pulled the small culvert over by Deaton, we had a little bit extra rock we put into there. And then someone came behind and put some dirt, but it all washed away. I'm sure that's not what covered the culvert. It's over the time. We've talked with the DOT. I don't know if we can write up a letter and maybe all of us can sign it and send an email like that saying, hey, you know, maybe they don't even believe who I am. Sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we can just throw another ton of rock out for $100 and dig the culvert out, which I prefer the second option instead of.
Going nowhere, it's with DOT.
Well, I mean, in time-wise, for me, it's faster to fix the problem.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's $100, I'll donate my time, it's not a big deal. It's dumping the rock down the hill and stacking it a little bit. Biggest thing is digging out the culvert, and I don't know when they're gonna get to that. But ever since they had cleaned that ditch out, running from there down to the golf cart place, and it flowed real good, it's almost like it flowed too good. But what eroded from the road's edge has now covered up the culvert so that water does not pass underneath the road no more. If it fills up and breaches the road, then it's gonna erode even more. I don't have no ways or means to clean that culvert out. But the DOT would definitely be responsible for it. But the rock would at least keep, you know, the edge of the road intact there is a sign, you can see a good bit of the concrete, a sign, and then either telephone or cable wires are in there as well.
That's the road going into Pettiford Point.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good washout there.
And it's amazing that over the years, I see this more and more and more. I don't know if it's a reflection on society or what, but everyone takes a shortcut, and every little road you look at on the right-hand turn, even at the end of, where the loop road comes up to 58 in front of the store, all these roads, the corners are worn out, and then they're refixed just to make them wider, and then people cut the corner more, and you do it more and more. So they need to. Same thing with 5 Aprils and North Landing Road. There's water meters there, or water valves, to separate the two neighborhoods, and the shortcuts there, they're running all over the meters. We put a big rock in there, they run all over that too. They don't care. But to protect the road, we at least need to drop some rock on it.
Yeah.
And I'd be happy to do that. So.
All right. So everybody.
Oh, the only other thing was one home in the back of 5 Aprils. B sent me to. Asked about his backyard wasn't draining well, and I was like, "Oh, that's a very nice brand new fence you got there, buddy." And I don't have a laser with me, but your yard is not sloped quite right. And he said, "Well, ever since you built the road, my yard doesn't drain as much." And I said, "Well, between your yard and the ditch, nothing's changed. It's all the grass and the trees and whatnot." And he asked what we could do, and I was like, "Man, you're right down the road from me." I says, when I finally get the backhoe back and have a few minutes, I'll just sneak over there and put him a little dink trench in, if that's okay with you, because it crosses a little bit of your property as well. I mean, it's not a big something to help him out.
Yeah. Well, I'll get back with you on that. I got.
He's already cleared out a little.
If I say yes, I could get myself in hot water without checking with the real boss.
Oh, I can make that call for you. I know a guy.
Oh no, I would get killed if you called.
Sheriff, you want to step in?
He's trying to get me killed. All right. Now the rocks. How much did you need to do the rocks?
A ton of that granite rip wraps. I think it's only $110.
All right. So everybody agreed to let them do that?
Till we
hear
get
a
DOT
motion?
out there to fix it, yes.
Motion we allowed to do it.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Go for it, sir. And I'll still get back with you on the. All right, Mr. Mason,
No, sir, I'm good.
Dan,
Not at this time.
Walter.
I will do it. Thank you.
All right, mayor's report. After we get out of public hearing, I will discuss the proposal of the land use plan from ECC. Also, we talked about a Dutch door. The Dutch door is going to be right at $600, and we have a donation from Darlene Watson to pay for the door. So anyhow,
Yeah.
but I'll get better designs. The estimate they sent, I couldn't tell if it had the shelf or a shelf needed to be added, but anyhow, it's gonna be right around $600. All right, that's all I had. So next is new business. It's a public hearing. This is approval of the fiscal budget for 2024-2025. Just so that everybody knows, our proposed budget is $181,420. That's and 33,000 of that is the tile bill. Do I hear a motion to go into public hearing?
So move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okay, we're in public hearing. If anybody would like to make a comment, please do so.
Yes. I want to thank your commissioners for keeping the rate that you are. But I have a concern with one line item in the proposed budget, and that's our staff. I realize you're having some extra expenses that come, but also the town hall is now paid for. You're getting more ad valorem taxes. Chris has done a good job in helping clean our tougher town, but nobody in this room knows the ration of crap that Bee has to put up with from the public. And you gentlemen need to understand, she is the first line of defense for this town.
Absolutely.
She protects you guys from a lot of questions, from a lot of garbage, and preserves a lot of your time. The public doesn't know how to get to you, but they know how to get to Dick. So I would like to ask you people to please reconsider an increase for our staff.
That is going to be discussed in closed session after the meeting.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Make a motion to come out of closed session.
Public hearing.
Public hearing, right. Motion to come out of public hearing?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you said closed session.
Excuse me, public hearing.
Yes, sir. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okay. Like I say, that our budget is $181,420. Like I say, I wanted to add the land use program or land use plan. ECC is made a proposal of $25,000 to do this for us. So anyhow, they have the staff and the knowledge of doing it. And I didn't know if y'all wanted to add this also to the budget.
If we got to have it, might as well do it.
We're gonna have to do it, and,
If that's what it's gonna take to do it, do it.
we don't have the staff to do it. Our planning board can do a great job, but I think this is more than what y'all can do. It's just, you're asking too much, and plus the expertise that they have that we don't have.
Yep.
And so,
The way this town's growing, yes, we need that.
we definitely, I know we got to have our own comprehensive land use plan instead of allowing, keep using the counties. So,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to bite the bullet. I don't want to see it done, but.
I agree too, but the only thing I'm concerned about is I'd like to maybe get some additional bids. Since it's so much, 25,000.
We can do that, I guess, but I don't think we're gonna get any chicken.
If we got time to do it.
Well, and how long is it gonna take them?
Oh, it's gonna take a while.
I know it's gonna take a while, but did they estimate their time?
I don't know if that was on the proposal, but I know they mentioned, there'd be some meetings that we'll have to meet with them, some,
Yeah, it'll take a while. I don't know the specifics right now.
yeah.
I mean, it's not gonna be a month. It's gonna be months.
Yeah, multiple months.
Oh, yeah. I would say it'd probably take at least, 6 to 12 months to do it.
I would concur on that.
Who What are some entities, what are some other entities that would do it?
I don't know.
Who are your competitors, or who else?
There are
Council of government, probably.
usually other councils of government, like, they won't, it depends on the situation, they probably went directly outside their region. But there are some private sector firms that do this kind of work. I could,
But the thing is, what I see is, we're already in with ECC. We got a great planner through them. This is below the $30,000 threshold.
It's a service as well.
Right.
Yeah, so, I mean, we really don't have to, and it'd be good to go ahead and move forward with this, because we already been working towards it for months, if not a year.
You got history with us too, so that's a part of what we're doing. Another part of it.
Somebody else wanted to start over.
Scratch again, so actually we probably ahead of the game, by going to the.
Whatever the board would like to do, I mean, certainly can go get more proposals. One of the things that to compare apples to apples would be if he's spending time with that other firm, right, that you're repaying for his time plus the other firm, as opposed to if it's all included in that 25,000. So I certainly think it's reasonable to get other bids on it.
All right, I make a motion that we move forward the way it is, 25,000 with ECC.
Second.
Make that a motion?
All right, I have a motion and a second to move forward. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? David? All right, I appreciate that. Like I said, we got a working relationship with ECC. We know Carlton wouldn't be hard with Lieutenant to find out where he lives if we have trouble. So, you know, I think we're good. All right, so anyhow, by adding that 25,000, our total budget next year would be 206,420. Or that's what we'll be spending. Our budget will basically remain the same.
Just gonna use fund balance.
Yeah, that's right. We can balance it with unappropriate funds. So yeah. All right. So now we'll move on to public comment.
We've already done that, right?
This is public comment.
Oh, okay. For the budget?
No. We already done the public hearing. This is the comments. Bill?
Did we vote for the budget?
You haven't voted on the budget yet. I think.
Oh, we haven't?
No, I think-
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I think Commissioner Quinn wanted to make maybe some amendments to
Yeah,
that
if
as
you-
well.
I'm sorry.
If you
I'm
could
sorry.
take one of those and pass it down.
You voted on the 25,000, that's all you voted on.
Yeah, my mistake.
So, I'd like to make a motion that, we amend our 2 line items on ad valorem tax and motor vehicle tax, based on, the 2024 county projections, the data that I received from the county. And, basically that's a difference of $7,791. And, if we approve that, I would like to have approval to go forward with getting a upgraded website for the town so that B doesn't have to do so much work. And so Carlton has all of this that's in a book. He can look it up online in a website where they upload it and put it in the website for us. The website's going to be very beneficial to the town. And I've asked the board over a year ago to help me out with this, to see about getting a demo here. So I'd like to make this motion. I found the money, and I'd like to make a motion and ask that y'all support that motion.
How much is the, website gonna cost?
Now, the old data that I have is not current, but last year, it would have been somewhere between $3,800 and $4,800 a year, and $850 to set up. So I found $7,000 that we're gonna get in excess already this year, and we've had unappropriated funds every year since 21. So I'd like for us to be able to move forward and to help those employees.
Who's the firm that's gonna do that?
If you want me to, I'll get 3 different firms.
I
To do it, I just wanna do a demo, then we can come back and talk about it, but I want the money earmarked for the website.
Okay.
No.
We're just going through this with our church websites, and we get to start from scratch again. We had one, and now we're going to another one, and the reason I was asking, I'm really cheaper from someone else, but we are doing ours, so, our webpage. And, our maintenance is not that much, maybe it's entirely different, but.
But it's not, that
Well,
that price is per year.
Does anybody want to change the budget as we have it presented? I mean, a budget is estimated expense and estimated revenue, so there's no real need to have to change it. And then no matter what we change, you're already saying that if the change is made, you want it spent on the website and nothing else. So,
I'm trying to understand what you want the money designated on the budget for the webpage.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm gonna use all of it, I'm just saying I want that amount
You're gonna use it.
to be set aside for this year, and then after that, it's gonna reduce. And I'm not saying I'm gonna use that amount.
That's what I understand.
I mean, if we go off of last year's prices, it would be, looks like at the most, it'd be, right around, $5,600. So there's almost $3,000 or $2,000 that, I found for the city.
Well, can we do it without having to put a line item in there or the budget? Can we?
yeah, but there's no need to change anything on the budget as we have it.
Can
I
we
mean-
do it? That's what I want to ask. I think Tim wants it done, and I think we probably most of us do. Can we get it done like that, without having to make a line item, make a line item?
Well, I just want a line item to be, I'm just saying that there's gonna be an expense every year once we move forward with it.
I thought you were talking about demo.
Well,
So
I wanna do the demo.
if we move forward with it, this is not going to say that we're going to like it. I mean, we've already been through this with when we started videoing our meetings. You didn't like the direction we went, so you kept all the videos of
I
the
didn't keep
earlier
anything.
meetings.
I unlocked it, and y'all could download it if you wanted to. I didn't
But-
keep anything.
There's a motion in order.
All right, that's up to y'all.
If
Rather
the
than move forward.
motion is ordered, I make a motion that we scuttle this for a year.
What's your motion?
Put this off for a year, that way we won't
I
have.
don't think we have to put it off. I mean, it can be discussed later on even,
Okay,
but I would just like to move forward with.
I asked y'all a year ago to discuss it.
I can see no reason for tax increase.
No, it won't be a tax.
There won't be a tax increase.
Tax rates stay the same.
Same thing, until it's less than everything. Can you get the, what you got to have to get the demo for?
All I need is permission to call them and set it up. And then I'll need a date that y'all can be here to look at it. And, I'd like for Carlton and B to be here, obviously, because it's gonna benefit them the most. And it's gonna benefit the city.
Why can't we just let them go ahead and do that, and then we go from there, can't we?
Yeah, but I think we were discussing the budget,
Yeah,
not
okay.
this video.
Let's, I'll make a motion that we accept the budget as presented.
Okay.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Now, we
Alright.
can still go ahead and get the demo, can you get that for us and get that set up?
If that's what y'all want to do, but it
Not
didn't
me,
have to
but-
change the budget, so.
Yeah, let's get the ball rolling anyway.
All right.
You just missed out on $7,000 in this year's budget that could help with the 25.
Now, wait a minute.
Yes, you did.
If we're gonna get this, you said this, you got this from the county?
Yeah.
So the county's gonna give it to us no matter what. We can put down here $68,000. If we got $74,000 coming, the county will give it to us.
We don't-
Last year's budget was what, $62,000? So we ended up with 68. They don't keep our money. We still get it, but it isn't like, this is a proposed budget. It doesn't mean that is what the bottom dollar is gonna be. Most of the time, we go a little lower than what we think we're gonna get, so that if we have a problem, or, let's say we got 68,000 here, and we only got 65.
I'm just
You
saying
know?
it would be nice to be involved in the budget process instead of it being magic.
It isn't magic. We get the same stuff from the county.
You didn't talk to me about that budget.
Don't have to. I don't think we were talking at all anyhow. I think you have a problem with,
I don't have no problem.
most of us on this board at the time.
I don't have a problem with any of you.
Well. All right, we'll move right on. Old business. Now this got the mobile home and RV thing. This is what we were gonna wait on. Okay. And is that the same as the shed ordinance?
Yeah, we were combining, we're gonna combine everything together.
Okay.
The planning board indicated, they gave their approval at the previous meeting for both those items. I don't remember if we had did we do the consistency statement?
Yes.
No,
I got both of them.
Okay.
I got both of them here.
Yeah, pretty much, just, once I can bring these additions to the planning board, then we can move forward with this.
Okay.
So for these other requested updates, I think everybody has a copy of them.
Yeah.
For the road, minimum road characteristics, I'd recommend we would just use the NCDOT's subdivision requirements, subdivision road requirements. The lot lines and drainage, I think, let's see, lot line configuration. I'm not sure how much of this we need these other details we need to include. I think it is a good idea to include, restricting direct vehicular access to exterior public streets. As far as the cul-de-sac and dead ends, let's see.
Well, see, a lot of that, like the cul-de-sacs and stuff, or what you were talking about, that T turning,
Yeah,
that's gonna be required by the fire department.
yeah, they're gonna require that anyways, and there may be let's see, we have, access for both mobile homes and I guess RVs and automobiles, each individual lot or park space. I think that's reasonable. I just, I'll just clean this up and I'll try to have something together by our next meeting.
Okay.
And we can just roll all the pieces together.
Okay. So do I need to,
You don't need to take any action right now.
Okay.
If the board's okay, if y'all are okay with me looking into doing these changes, then I can just, I believe the planning board's okay with it. If y'all are okay with it, I can move
all
forward.
right, we don't need to make a motion to table them or nothing?
No, you can.
Okay. All right, then we'll move forward. Other business, we have none at this time. Commissioners' comments? Any commissioner have a comment they would like to make?
Never saw it here.
All right, then we'll
I
move.
just don't think the town is not, this board up here is not supporting those people over there if they don't get this website. That's all I gotta say.
We're not saying that we're not getting the website, Tim. We're saying that we don't have to change her budget just in case, let's say something happens, we don't get the 74,000 you're proposing, and we get less than, or we get 68, or we get 70.
I understand.
Then our budget's fine, and we got extra money to work with, which is what we got like this year. Right now, we're in the black of $17,000. That's because we didn't try to over budget. We tried to just go with what we know we're going to get, which what we did the last month. The profit versus actual had us at $68,500 and some dollars as what we bought in on our ABO. So that's why we went with the 68,000, because we know we're going to get that. And if we get any more, then that's great, you know. So that's how we work the budget. That's how the fire department works their budget. I mean, we don't know exactly what we're going to end up with, but we don't want to end up with a lot less than what we budget for.
I think the board would be more accessible with more information. I don't know a whole lot about websites.
I agree. That's kind of where I was
I dig
thinking.
holes for a living, so.
Just, yeah.
But if you could set up with other people that could, you know, show us what they could do, almost like when we bid things out. They have hey, I can do this much, I can provide this service for this amount of money. Just like you say, you'd like to see more and more bids, but you'd like to hear from, you know, someone that does that.
I fully understand what you're saying.
Jumping right into it's kind of hard to digest it all.
But what I'm saying is, I asked y'all a year ago, and nobody said boo to me. I asked you 3 times.
But we've never had a presentation or someone that.
I have to have permission to set the presentation up.
No, you don't.
Tim, let me ask you something.
You can just say it's gonna be
A year
If
ago.
you don't wanna meet, then you don't see it.
A year ago, you putting all kinds of trash in the paper about me, everybody that was running, my wife. Who was going to support you then? When you're talking, you're
I was
talking.
running an election, look what happened. The building's gone, everything got cleaned up around here. That was great.
You had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, they had nothing to do with you.
I don't think, I'm not saying that we don't need a webpage. I think a webpage would be a great asset for this town. I'm not here saying don't do it,
Exactly.
but I'm just saying that it's whatever you need to do, you make a request, you say you've asked for it. What do you ask for? I don't know. I mean, you said last year you asked to do a webpage. As far as I know, I haven't said you couldn't do it, and I haven't had any, I don't know what you mean, but What do you want a formal, you want to make a formal request, have a formal, what do you want?
Yeah, give me a date of when we can be here so that I can tell them when the date is.
Well, you get everything set up and we're working around somehow, can't we?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Let Miss B send an email out to everybody and everybody can respond who can be here and who can't.
If you wait for everybody to say they can be here, one particular time, you're never gonna have a meeting.
Right, and if you get, 3 out of the 5 of us and, enough of us understand it, we're gonna make it happen. It all revolves around what company or what service is gonna be here to tell you what they can do.
I think we'll be great for it.
It's kinda like an audition.
Exactly.
All right, we ready to move on?
Moving forward.
Yeah,
That's
move
right.
on.
All right, we're fixing to go into closed session pursuit of North Carolina General Statute 143-318-11 A6 for the permitted purpose to discuss personnel. So do I hear a motion go in closed
I'll make
session?
a motion, we go into public hearing.
Closed
Say,
I have a motion and a second to go into closed session. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we're gonna go into closed session.